Today on episode 87, our Tom Waddle and Ed O'Bradovich episode of Typical Chicago Fans. We have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, a pod plug, trivia corner, and the first ever TCF Top 4 gas station trip. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 87 of Typical Chicago Fans. It's me, your boy Boomy on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Make sure to follow the main page at typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram. Type in Typical Chicago Fans and like those pages. Head on over to YouTube. Type in Typical Chicago Fans to follow the YouTube page for all of our content in video form. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you find us there. But make sure you follow the guys that I'm joined with tonight. We got Zach at ZLiliaTCF, and we got Maddie at Schools_01. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at 26shirts.com Chicago. Head on over to their website, 26shirts.com/Chicago, to check out some of the coolest sports merchandise in Chicago. They got great shirts like the one I have right here. They got everything from those, the hats, hoodies, flags, whatever you need. Head on over, find something. And when you are at checkout, make sure you use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. Christmas is coming up right around the corner. Get that Chicago fan in your life something good. So, some of the best shirts I own, the best fitting shirts, are from 26shirts.com. So head on over to their website, use promo code Typical Chicago Fans, 15% off. It helps a good cause. You get great clothes, and it helps out the podcast. So make sure you head over. Like I said, 26shirts.com/Chicago, promo code Typical Chicago Fans. Boys, episode 87, our first ever two-name episode. Tom Waddle and Ed O'Bradovich. I didn't feel right leaving either one of those guys out. So how are we feeling tonight?
Could be better, but
Yeah.
my sinker is still my sinker this week, I guess we would say.
Same sinker.
With the wisdom teeth, but it's all right. Got a lot of football to watch, at least lately. With football every single day, but
everything's gonna close down too, so it's not like you can go anywhere anyway. So
when it comes to pain, I'm not very good with it. I'm a wimp, as they would say.
It's your flu game, man, and we've talked about it. I don't remember maybe it was Petro way back when we first started. Some crossover stuff. He was and I were talking about dentist stuff, and anything in your mouth, just any pain there, just absolutely sucks. So I'm telling you though, the offer's still on the table. I got a couple pair of pliers. I'm sure Matt can get some bourbon we can rub on. We can get those things out if you really need, bud.
It won't be an issue, Zach. I'll bring a bottle of Everclear leather belt for you to chew on, and Boomy's got the pliers. It'll be good to go, dude. About 12 hours later.
We couldn't be in a worse time for dentist visits.
Yeah. Well, and me and you were talking last night, Zach, anything with your sinuses and stuff just seems to make any of that pain 10 times worse, because when that pressure it radiates into your nerves.
But to piggyback off what Zach's saying too, is you want to go sit in a dentist office or any medical office with your mouth wide open for about 4 hours right now? Because I don't. I really don't want to have my mouth open in a public place right now. So
seriously. Well, we're hoping for the best. Hopefully Monday comes along and you can get that taken care of. Big Z, that's your floater again this week. I'll give you mine real quick, and mine is trees, and that is because on the campus of UW-Madison, 25-foot Algonquin Swiss mountain pine was just sawed down sometime between November 5th and November 9th at the University of Wisconsin Arboretum, and they have no clue who sawed this 25-foot tree down. It says that it was 30 yards from the street that runs through the Arboretum. It's a popular spot for walkers and joggers, but the tree was planted 32 years ago, and it has one sitting right next to it that's its twin tree, and nothing happened to that one, but someone just sawed this giant 25-foot tree down at UW-Madison, and they have no idea who did it. So tough week for trees.
Yeah, that does sound like a tough week for trees.
Just mowing down trees?
How does someone just stealthily come in and hack down a tree in a public place? So I want to know.
And they said it was most likely done with a chainsaw. It's like somebody had
Well, yeah,
to
you're
do
not. That's what I'm saying. You're not doing. You're not chopping that tree down with an axe. You know what I mean?
No.
But the thing is, who's stopping him? Who's going to the guy that's cutting down the tree and be like,
True.
hey, dude, stop it?
Guy's got an orange vest and it looks like he's official. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're absolutely right. If you play the part,
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't say anything to that guy. Like, hey, he's probably a city worker. He's doing his job. I'm not going to say anything. And I'm probably
It's
not
like-
going to remember what he looks like if the police ask me about it.
it's not like it's Tuma's Corner at Auburn either, where it's like those like sacred trees that people go like celebrate around or whatever it is. You know what I mean? That's stupid shit
Yeah.
for Auburn. But regardless, it's not like it's like some like I don't know icon. You know, so to say.
Right.
It's not like it's. So I don't know. That's weird.
That
Definitely
is.
a weird move.
We'll see if anything comes of it. Maddie, what's your sinker?
All right. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, and me being obviously, as you guys like to point out, much older than both of you, but I've never sold a vehicle, and I'm selling my first vehicle that's not like part of a trade-in or you know
Yep.
something like that, and it sucks. It sucks, especially a 20-year-old vehicle.
Yeah.
That doesn't start right now and needs a brake line replaced. So like trying to explain all the problems with this thing and still like getting like I don't know more than like $6 back is like it's a challenge.
Well, and
so
I just recently, well, thank God for my dad. He was the one who did most of the work for selling my truck. People are not nice, Matt, when it comes to buying vehicles. People are very like quick to point out
Yeah.
something wrong with your vehicle, and it's just like you
awesome.
gotta have thick skin.
Well, I don't care. Just get it. I just want it gone. I'm just at that point where I
I'm
just want
that
it
person
gone.
that would be like, if you say something, you like take it to heart. You're like, well, what's wrong with that?
I know
Yeah.
you guys.
I
I know you
imagine
guys
being
have.
a-
I know you guys have a lot of friends that are farmers and like probably have like either like snowplow businesses and stuff like that. So if you need a 4-wheel drive truck that just needs some work, needs a brake line, needs a new battery, probably, you know, it'll get you through a winter, dirt cheap. You know, find me, hit me up. Let's go.
I
There you
love
go.
it. Little shameless plug. Absolutely. Let's get that thing. Let's get that thing sold. Zach,
Hey,
cut that
TC
one up.
hey,
Go back and put it on his Facebook page.
the I was just gonna say the show pot gets 10% too. If it's sold if it's sold through the podcast, the show pot gets 10% of the sale.
Oh, then we gotta rethink this and make a legit video on it because I'm all in on
This
that.
will work. This will work.
So 10% of the sale goes to the TCF show pot if it's sold through the show. So share it.
Just
spread
use
it.
promo code typical Chicago
Yeah.
fans when dealing with Matt.
Yeah. It's on
I love
Facebook
it.
Marketplace. Find me.
I have sold 2 cars. One of them, luckily, I sold it to a family member, so it was super easy. But you're definitely right, Matt. I sold my old, I don't even know what it was, an Explorer or something. I don't know. But it's like 5 weeks of just like answering messages and then hearing nothing back. And then you're about done with it. And then someone will jump up and want it. So it is, yes.
Is exactly what happened today. Is I haven't heard shit for Boomy's Frozen. I love it. Haven't heard shit for like 5 or 6 days. Not a peep. That's an awesome face. And you know, then all of a sudden today I'm working. Maggie's working, so it's not like I have help with Owen. I get boom, 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 boom. Like 6 people start asking me if it's available still, and you know I can't have someone come today. One guy wants to come today. Another guy wants to come. What's the lowest you'll take to sell it right now? I'm like, sight unseen. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this. Come on, just if you want to come look at the truck, come look at the truck. Make me a fair offer. Let's not do this. Like come on. I'm just trying to get rid of this piece of metal that's in my driveway, Zach.
I'm telling you, it's not going to be. It's not. I don't know. You gotta have. I think you have the right attitude though. For it. I will. I'll get.
I will
broken
tell
down
you right
too
now.
easily.
I've already knocked off $900 off my initial asking price from, I think it's 14 days ago. So I already almost cut like 33% of it. It's not expensive. It's a 20-year-old truck, so it's not. I'm not looking for a lot of money here.
Well, I'll go into my floater. It's baseball cards. I've been thinking about starting to go through. Me and my dad used to get baseball cards all the time when I was younger, and I'm gonna start going through them and like just kind of maybe like getting the sets all back together and stuff like that. I got a basement that I can put all the baseball cards in and stuff. So yeah, I've been thinking about, like I said, I think baseball cards are about as hot as they've been ever.
I got a buddy who is huge into it, and him and his brother both got huge back into it. They're always looking on eBay for all these deals and stuff. So his whole thing was he was always telling me he's trying to get rare cards from like draft classes. So like when this year's draft comes out, he's trying to get a couple of the rare ones from like the top couple picks and just hoping they pop off like in 6-7 years. You know what I mean? So he's looking at like the long term like financial investment of it. So I don't know. I didn't realize like how popular they've gotten like back in the last like popular. 3 or 4 years even.
They are, like Zach said, they're like the top of the market they've been in the last like 20, 25 years.
That's all we had growing up, dude. That's me and my buddies. Yeah. That's we sat around on front porches, driveways, and traded baseball cards all day long, dude. I've got just boxes of useless and totally valueless baseball cards and basketball cards in my parents' house. So, yeah, it's one of those things. It's cool to see that's kind of made like a big, rebirth.
Definitely. My floater, on the other hand, is Bigfoot. Bigfoot has been found. He was found in the mountains north of Santa Cruz.
Bigfoot.
Now, unfortunately, it was just a stolen 4-foot-tall carved wooden statue of Bigfoot, but it was literally found on the side of the road. Someone stole a 4-foot Bigfoot statue and just left it on the side of the highway, which I would imagine a 4-foot Bigfoot statue made out of wood is probably pretty heavy. That's a little dangerous. You're in a car doing 60, 65, and you hit that thing, it's game over.
I think we know what happened to the Madison tree. It turned into the Sasquatch statue.
5 foot to 4 foot is in the middle of a California highway.
Hey, you never know, man. You got to repurpose it somehow.
That's a quick shipment from Madison, Wisconsin, out to Santa Cruz, California.
My floater, and I think Zach, maybe you and I talked about it. Maybe me, it might have been me and somebody else, but it was Bill's Mafia this week. Raised $400,000 to the Oishé Children's Hospital in Buffalo in the name of Josh Allen's mom after she passed away. I think it was on Friday or Saturday when she passed away. I know there was a big thing during the Bills game on Sunday if he was going to play. Obviously you lose your mother. It's something that's I don't care if you're a professional athlete or not. It's not something that's going to make doing your job the next day something very easy. I thought a very supportive move from Bills fans just to kind of show that, hey, we're in this with you. It's not the value amount because Josh Allen probably made $400,000 and already twice or 3 times over this season with his contract, but it's the act that we're in a pandemic.
Gesture.
Yeah, it's the gesture. It's the act that we're in a pandemic right now, and there's a lot of people struggling for money. And football fans rallied around one of their favorite players to say, "Hey, like we're here for you." I think it's a cool move. You can't really find holes in what happened there. So I thought that was awesome.
And you can say what you want about the city of Buffalo or its fans, but the fact that they came together, like you said, Matt, during these times and helped out. And then I saw Josh Allen donated another $17,000 to round it up to 500 or 50,000 or whatever. Rounding it up to the biggest number. So shout out.
Yeah, it was yesterday was the most accurate, like the most recent number I saw was like 400,000. So that makes sense what you're saying is he got it rounded it up to 5. Such a cool move too, and something that's gonna like legacy wise, like a children's hospital, a scholarship, something like that. I mean, that's just something that you're making your mom stand out for something, and to have your fans and your supporters do that for you, I think is a really cool move.
They build statues for guys like that.
Yeah, they do.
Absolutely. Let's jump right into it. The TCF Sports Minute. First and foremost, I was going to make this second, but the news broke today. Matt Nagy has officially given a play calling to the offensive coordinator. I cannot remember his first name off the top of my head. I'm sorry, boys.
Bill Lazor?
Bill Lazor. Yeah. Bill Lazor.
Yep. So, honestly, it doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but I think this is the right move. This is a long time coming. Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, like, what do you have to lose? I mean, there's minimal amount that you can lose from this. I mean, you're already on a little bit of a downward, trajectory. It could help things, go up. And if it doesn't work, then you go back and you try and rework it somewhere. But, I think this is the right move, and I don't know what you guys think.
I got a text message from one person on this recording right now that said, holy shit, Maddie. And I said, what's up? And it's Matt Nagy gave up play calling. And it was the best bit of news that I've gotten in a very, very long time. So thank you, Zach, for bringing just a little bit of smile to my face today. I want to give you the credit there.
Well, I am happy I could give you that happiness. But my only thing is, we're gonna have to see. Monday night will be is it Matt Nagy's play calling or is it the offense?
Or is it Ryan Pace and putting a team together?
Yeah.
That may be
because
the winner
or is it? I saw a great tweet today. I think it was Brandon Robinson. Zach. It was like I think we did an interview with him on a show a while back, but he said something that this is the first step to cleaning house in the organization. So he's right. If it blows up and this doesn't go well, you don't recover from something when you bench your quarterback, you strip play calling duties from the offensive minded head coach, and now you're onto a first year offensive coordinator in the organization who's calling your plays. This is like it's make or break time. It's pretty much everyone staring down the barrel now.
I hate to, you guys obviously, being a Packers fan, but is this kind of the last ditch effort of a guy who's kind of desperate and sees a little bit of the writing on the wall, or is it not quite there yet?
I think it's desperation mode. I'm sure. I don't know how Zach feels in that regard, but I personally think it's an act of it needed to be done, but there's not a lot of other options after this one either. So it's like kind of it's your plan B, but there is no plan C kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just think that there was so much pressure from it, and maybe he's realizing that he just kind of needs to figure out how to be the head coach without the play calling and see where that goes.
It's worth a try.
I don't disagree. And I think that plays to his skills. Like that team hasn't quit on him through all the good and bad that they've gone through. They've gone through a shitty playoff loss. They fell short of a lot of high expectations last year, and they're kind of started out 5-1, now they're 5-4. That's a lot of up and down adversity for a head coach, and he hasn't lost that team. Like they still play hard for him. They still they support him publicly. They still support him on social media and things like that. They're not barbecuing him like you see a lot of other coaches get done. So he hasn't lost the locker room, in my opinion. So even with the play calling transition, there's still, I think there's still support in that locker room for him. So it's not like it's all horrible. If he can focus on that aspect of it and managing the games and things like that and clock management, which I think he does a lot better, I think, than he gets credit for in a lot of ways. It seems like the Bears always have a timeout when they need one. And I don't know if they never used to. It always felt like with Lovie Smith, for all the the positives, him as a defensive minded coach and what he did, it always felt like they never had timeouts when they needed them. And I don't mean that that's like the signal of a good coach or a bad coach, but I think you're doing something right when you need a timeout and you got one left somehow. You know what I mean? So I think it seems like things like that he does really well. So I don't know. I don't think Matt Nagy's a piss poor coach. I don't think he has the players in-house to run the scheme that he wants, and he's so stubborn that he won't break from that.
Yeah, it's hard to argue.
I agree with that.
It is very well said, Matt. Let's jump into some baseball talk. Jose Abreu wins the AL MVP for the White Sox. And unfortunately, on the north side, Yu Darvish did not win Cy Young, finished second behind Trevor Bauer. But great to see, obviously, one name of a Chicago guy winning an MVP and another guy finishing second in Cy Young. I think there's positives to look at. Yeah, you can make your arguments for Yu Darvish, but at the end of the day, he didn't win, but it's really good to have the second best pitcher in baseball at the same time.
Yeah.
From where he was, too.
You said the Cy Young would have been nice, but we'll take second place. And then just kind of got me thinking about where this Cubs team may be next year when this whole thing starts. It's going to be different. Because now that there's all this speculation, Theo's right-hand man is where was he getting looked at? For a job, and he may be leaving the Cubs soon. And that's just kind of like the writing on the wall, because a few years ago they blocked anyone from being able to talk to him, and I kind of think they know now that Theo's on his way out. So
is that Jason McLeod?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, let's not kid ourselves with Steve Cohen going to the Mets, and they basically an endless vault of cash that is now at the disposal of one of the major market teams. Theo Epstein to the New York Mets makes a hell of a lot of sense right now.
I saw the article too.
They've got. Well, I didn't even see that. I heard somebody mention it on the radio the other day, and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
I think someone in maybe New York Post wrote an article about that like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, get out of here. That's not a thing. And now, like,
well, you start peeling back the layers of it though. They put Sandy Alderson in place, who's not a long-term solution. Let's not kid ourselves. He's a placeholder for a bridge to the first, the ownership regime. He knows the last regime. He knows Steve Cohen really well, obviously. So I think there's a little bit of a bridge there. They cleaned house with Brody Van Wagen, and they let him go. I think if the table's being set for Theo Epstein to come in and fix one more downtrodden organization that could never get over the hump. And I think that it's like, if you could go in and say you won a world, you broke the curse with the Red Sox, you broke the curse with the Cubs, and then you made the Mets a winner again too.
That's first ballot Hall of Fame stuff.
That's like universe level. That's probably like best executive in professional sports history stuff.
Seriously. And then obviously Jose Abreu taking in the AL MVP, big for the South side as they continue to grow. But obviously also like this week, we've talked about in the Daily Show with the Tony La Russa drama, how is, that young core going to mesh with, a 76-year-old kind of stern, stubborn old man. So that'll be interesting to see how those worlds collide.
You forgot a 77-year-old man addicted to drunk driving.
I was going to try and be subtle about it, Maddie. I knew you'd pick the ball up where I left it off.
That guy's he's a snake. He's a snake.
Yeah.
I think it's a shitty move, and I think they had a chance to save face, and they didn't do it, and they doubled down on it. And I think it's a bad look. And I don't know, like, has he seriously still hasn't called Tim Anderson? Like, I don't know. What kind of power play move is this at this point? Like, what are you trying to do?
I know. I don't get what Jerry Reinsdorf is doing, and I don't get why if all this stuff was going to come out about Tony La Russa, why you wouldn't just hire like an Alex Cora or an AJ Hinch or something like that. Like, I don't know. But
AJ Hinch is the perfect hire. Like, he's done this. Same situation. Young team ready to win. And that's exactly what he did in Houston. And I don't get it.
Last sports minute topic, the Masters going on this weekend. It's super weird seeing it in November, and obviously the first round gets postponed because of darkness. That never happened in the spring. But man, I don't know about you guys. It has been very, very fun to watch. It is good to have golf back, and it's really nice to see Bryson DeChambeau not make the cut.
Amen. Totally good.
I want more meatheads in golf, but he is so hard to cheer for because he is just such a tool.
I like a good heel. Don't get me wrong. He's not even a heel though. He's just like he's a bad heel. He's not good at it.
Yeah,
it's weird. He's like such a whiner with all that shit.
Like, that's what drives me nuts.
When he's bitching at scoring officials and stuff, like. Give me Brooks Koepka like 1,000 times over and that personality on a golf course as opposed to Bryson DeChambeau. That's just the bottom line.
You like to see guys that look like they're having fun out there, and he never looks like he's having fun. He always looks like he's at work at like a 10-hour shift at a steel factory. He just doesn't look like he's enjoying it.
It's a science project.
Seriously.
I don't know. I do think you're correct, though. It's been fun. I like having the different time of the year has made the visual aspect of it weird, where it's like so early in the day when it's getting dark and there's rounds that can't finish because of one weather delay screws up everything. But it's Augusta and it's TV and it's a beautiful thing for us to be able to watch. So I'm not going to complain. Do you guys know anything about what they're going to do next year? Are they going to do it at the normal?
I think they're going back to the spring,
so in April or whatever.
Yeah,
so, that's not bad. We go November to April. We get another Masters again.
Not going to complain about that.
It's not like it's like basketball or something where you got to like rest up for it. Like they'll be ready.
Yeah,
exactly.
They'll be ready next week. I'm in for it. Don't get me wrong.
I love it. And I love that the NFL's even flexed some games into different times to prepare for it. They've got like 6 noon games and 5 afternoon games to kind of spread things out there. Do
you guys remember 2 years ago at Augusta when like the weather was so bad and they moved it up early in the day? So it
Yes.
started at like 6:30 on Sunday, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is awesome! This is awesome!" So it was like done at noon or whatever, like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the day. And so we had, went right into the rest of the Sunday. So I don't know. Maybe they do something like that with, being in the fall too, and they've got all these weather delays and stuff like that. Give us an early start, or maybe even a Monday start for the final round this weekend. But
wouldn't hate that at all. And I don't know about you guys, and like I obviously don't remember what the normal scores there are, but the leaders right now tied for first. We have 4 guys at 9 under through 2 rounds: Abe Answer, Cam Smith, Justin Thomas, and Dustin Johnson at 9 under. Does that feel like better scores than have been done in the past?
I think Tiger won at 13 last year. So
okay, so they're
Tiger won at 13, and I think who won it the year before? Was it Sergio or was it
You guys notice that Sergio Garcia is not there?
Yeah, he has COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it stinks.
Mm-hmm.
That's no good.
But I believe the cut was right around even. I didn't catch it in the final, but I think there's 60 guys left.
I think you're right. And there's still a second round, but I think you're projected at even. And think about that. Like, if you're not under par, I mean, wow.
Also, shout out to Maddie for putting together a really cool little bracket thing for the Masters. We'll get more into it maybe next year with it. But if you're with some buddies and you want to do something that it's not like you're not all into gambling, it was a really cool thing. You had like 6 tiers, had golfers in it. You pick your golfers, and then however they do, you take the top 4, take the scores, and it's just kind of an easy point system.
Well, it gives you some people to root for too. You know what I mean? So it's like, as much as anything is, you don't have a team to rally around in golf. You don't have like your squad that's,
Like people who are doing good are people who have like Cameron Smith and like people like that, like who have the random golfers that are at -9, because if you can get 2 golfers at -9, you're set.
Oh yeah.
Well, I have Cameron Smith and I have DJ, so I'm right there right now. I'm sure that's my house of cards is going to come crushing down when you have Cameron Smith at -9. I did throw a small shout out Pigoy. Did throw a small little future on Cameron Smith at plus 9,900 to win. So being at halfway through, and he's in the hunt, obviously. So shout out Pigoy there for that one. So I'll take that. I hope that comes through.
Definitely.
I also have DJ. So give me a winner any way we can get one.
With that'd be really nice to have to bring one of those home. I'm sure I haven't even checked the leaderboard, Maddie. I'm pretty sure I'm close to last because I'm pretty sure I took Bryson in that first tier.
That one hurts when you lose your top tier golfer like that. Yeah. And it's just it was a pretty bad meltdown for him today too. I watched some of his round before he got suspended, and he's lost a ball. He was having issues with his caddy. They couldn't locate a ball. It got stuck in the rough, and it was just one of those days. Next shot he hit, he snap hooks it back around further into the woods where he was. So it's just, it's one thing after another. It just mounted for him today.
And quote of the weekend from Tony Finau, when asked by reporters, they said, "Did you have a hard time looking for Bryson's ball?" And he responded with, "Which one?"
Yep.
That's great.
Epic mic drop.
You know what? Yeah. He hasn't made himself a very likable character. So
that's that you want to cheer for a guy that's kind of like the outside, like he's not a prototypical golfer. He's built different. He trains different. He swings different. But like you're just a wet blanket, dude. It's just not entertaining. I don't have any you.
Zach, you're absolutely right, because when he goes after a guy like Koepka and says, "Oh, look at my 6-pack," and then Koepka responds with, "Okay, here's my 6-pack, and it's 6 major trophies," and it's say whatever you want, do whatever science project, and start hitting 400-yard bombs all you want. If you're not winning the big ones, it doesn't matter, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Let's move on to a new segment. What kind of new? We've talked about, different stuff like this in the past, but we're calling this the pod plug. We're going to plug a podcast that we listen to. Go check it out on our recommendations, kind of like media recommendations, but specifically for podcasts. Does anybody have one they want to start with?
I'll start with it's one we've talked about a little bit, but our guy Dom Frederick has been going on the Compound Podcast with Ian Happ, Zach Short, and I always get Dakota Meckes. And he has been he is the only two-time guest on this show, and it's kind of crazy that Dom is just slowly becoming very good friends with Ian Happ.
We're like one connection away from Ian Happ. Dom's our guy.
Like, they love him on that show. They love to bring him on. They love morale. They want to get T-shirts with I forget obvious shirts and stuff with some morale on it. It's awesome to see our guy Dom Frederick, and he was on other podcasts I've seen lately. It's really awesome to see because, like I said, he knows so much about it too, and he knows how to bring that energy. So I think
that's an understatement.
Also, even outside of that, the Compound Podcast is awesome for like Cub fans, just because you get an insight into Ian Happ, and he kind of talks about that. Like, they all know guys within the organization. They're calling Anthony Rizzo every once in a while on there. So it's an awesome podcast I've been listening to.
Great choice, Zach or Matt. Do you got one for us?
Yeah, I do. And it's one that we've talked a lot about the podcast that they've done in Barstool. It seems like they come out with a different one every week. But I recently started listening to Unnecessary Roughness with Brandon Walker and Casey Smith, and I'm not like a huge fan of either one of them, like on their own. But they they talk about so much deep stuff with college football wise, and with Jack Mack as well, the producer. They go into the gambling side of stuff. They go into the fun side of stuff. They talk about just an absolute exorbitant amount of games. Brandon Walker, for all the good and bad about him,
Funny.
he does know a shit ton about SEC football and in college football as a whole. He knows an absolute treasure trove of stuff. So really interesting. They play off each other really well. Little the entertaining drama and banner. It's a good listen for me. Like on Saturday mornings, I do a lot of my chores around the yard, the house, and stuff like that. I'll throw a podcast in my headphones. It's something like that, prepping for like a college football Saturday and listen to one of those episodes, just like the perfect lead-in for it. So I just started listening to it recently, so I haven't listened to more than probably a handful of episodes, but it's been really good so far.
Good deal. I like both of them from Barstool, so I'll have to check that one out. I'm going to go completely away from anything sports related, and this is one I just started recently. They have something like 1,600 episodes. I've gone back to the beginning and kind of plugging my way through, and this is called Stuff You Missed in History Class. And it's two people go back, and a lot of their episodes, this is why I like it so much, is some of them are 5 minutes, some of them are 15 minutes, some of them are 20, and they just do like small topics, like interesting stuff from history. Like the one I listened to the other day was like dispelling the rumor that Genghis Khan killed like 1,300,000 people in 24 hours or whatever. And they talk about the origins of stuff like that. And then they kind of talk about the reality and the history of it. So Stuff You Missed in History Class. It's on iHeartRadio. It's pretty easy to find. So that is the one I've been plugging away at lately. So.
Let's not act like you're not using that for lesson plans. Come on.
Hey, no more peeks behind the curtain, Maddie. Come on. Can't be giving away the secrets, baby. What are we doing? Zach, cut that out. We can't let the people know my tricks to the trick. You don't ask a magician how they did the trick, all right?
That's right. I spotted you a mile away.
Damn it. Well, I had that one coming.
You know what? That and like Twisted History, give your class a couple episodes of those. Yeah, you'll be good to go for like you'll be COVID free for 3 weeks right there.
100%. And there's another one called The Dollop. While I'm plugging away, you said Twisted History, which is a Barstool podcast, but that one's very good. But there's one called The Dollop, and it's Dave Anthony and Gareth Reynolds, who are two stand-up comedians. And what they do is like they sit and then when they record, one guy reads a story from history that is just wacky and like super weird. Like they talk about the ugly laws in the United States that were a real thing. And the other guy just commentates on it kind of like in a stand-up, like improv kind of way. And it is like some of the stuff is just hilarious. They did 2 episodes on Ronald Reagan, and I was like cramping. I was laughing so hard.
I got to throw one more quick podcast shout out it's the TCF podcast episode 86 for the interview with Dave Williamson. Go follow that guy. Is there a bigger volume tweeter than him? My God, does that guy tweet a lot? Holy hell. And it's like, it's entertaining, dude. Between him and like Kreischer on Instagram, it's like, man, you can just get your social media fill from those two guys.
Seriously.
Good
Yeah,
stuff,
check out Dave
very
Williams.
good, very good interview you guys did too, though. I'm serious.
That
Go
was
back
fun,
and listen
man.
to that if you haven't. You guys did a great job.
He was awesome. Hopefully having Dave Williamson back on. Check out his podcast, Meet Dave, MEAT Dave. Matt, I think you'd like that one too. He talks a lot about barbecuing and grilling and stuff. So you'll have to check that one.
Talking my language.
Pod plug next time. But let's jump into it. We've done this segment before. It's been a long time. Me and Zach used to do this quite a bit. I don't think we've ever done this with Matt. So this is kind of new with a twist of kind of old. So this is TCF trivia. What we're going to do is each guy has 3 questions and we'll go around. Like I'll read one and then Zach and Matt will try and answer, and then we'll kind of go around the table. We're going to stick to Chicago sports trivia for this one. If you have any ideas for specific topics in the future, just shoot them to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. If you want us to be specific on any of these, we'll definitely be bringing these back. So I'm going to start, boys. And I'll ask the question. I do have 3 possible answers. So if you can't figure it out, I do have 3 possible answers to help you whittle it down. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. In 1969, the year of the Black Cat incident with Ron Santo, the Cubs finished 2nd in the East. Who finished 1st?
New York Mets.
Zach, do you have an answer?
I'm going with Matt.
All right. That was a good choice because the Mets is the correct answer. Good job.
That one, I got a lesson from my dad about that one for a good majority of my lifetime, that I was not allowed to root for the Mets because my dad, that was his team. That was the squad. It was like we were with the 03, or me with the 03 Cubs. The 69 Cubs was my dad's team. So yeah.
I could be mistaken, but I think it was talked about in that baseball series.
Yep. Are you talking about Ken Burns' baseball?
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
100%.
That's how I kind of know that too.
Which, quick media recommendation, if you can find that, that is the best documentary series I've ever watched.
It's the best one to watch
time.
It's the best documentary to watch, possibly to like go to sleep to.
Yeah,
I don't mean it. I don't mean it.
So monotone.
And I don't mean it to like knock you out. I just mean it like it's just soothing. Like it just relaxes.
Yeah, they should update it.
Yeah, they did do
sure. That's a great call.
Episode. Probably like 10 years ago, but they need to update it like every 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, your first trivia question for me and Zach.
All right. I've got a little bit of a twist, and I know you said Chicago, but I'm gonna broaden horizon. I'm gonna just stick it to the state of Illinois, and I'm gonna go to a passion of both of your guys. I know you guys are both into Illinois high school basketball, so I found a couple interesting numbers, 3 different ones. The first one I'm gonna give you, and it's the winner is the closest person to the actual number. So I'm gonna give you a stat, and you tell me the number that you think it is, and the closest one to the actual is the winner. So. First one is most points in a game by a team.
By a team? Now, is this just regular season or
regular season? Regular season included.
26.
162.
Boomy's the winner with 156, and it was by Chrisman High School in 1970. 156 points.
Chrisman was a powerhouse.
Absolute powerhouse. And that was let's see, that was 1970. So that was well before the 3-point line too. So we're talking probably almost 2 decades before, probably, for Illinois.
I love it. Matt, it's funny you say that. I was actually the other day looking up. I spent a lot of time on the IHSA website looking at their old records and stuff.
It's such a great website for that stuff, isn't it?
Do you know what the most amount of points scored in a single game by anyone in Illinois history is?
In a game?
This is not one of my questions.
I just saw it a little bit ago, and I want to say it was 95.
91.
91, okay.
And it was actually a guy who went to a prep school in like the northern suburbs, and he had scored 85 like the week before. So then he comes out.
He was like 1st and 4th or something on the Illinois record book for most of the game.
Yeah, he's 1st, 3rd. He scored like 85, and then the week after just beat the hell out of some little private school. He had 91. He broke his ankle. He didn't play another game of basketball.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wild.
Make a movie about something like that. My God.
I think he might have played in college, but I don't think he played another game in high school.
That's nuts, dude. That's nuts.
Zach, your first trivia question.
I don't know why I didn't know who this was, but maybe you guys will easily know this. Who wore number 10 for the Bulls and is retired?
B.J. Armstrong.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nope.
BJ.
No, Jerry Sloan.
Wait, the number's retired. It's Bob Love.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not. I guess.
Like BJ's.
Yeah, the numbers retired.
I guess I've never heard of Bob Love.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him.
He used to come to the YMCA in Plano when I was in like second or third grade basketball, like doing like a league basketball, and he would show up there like once a year as like the celebrity that comes to say hi to all the kids and stuff.
I don't know why I didn't register. You said his number is retired. B.J. Armstrong's number is not retired by the Bulls.
No.
My dumb brain did not register that. What an
I was
idiot!
wondering, I'm like, were they wearing it at like different, or like, did he wear that number? I was confused.
For a long time before Derrick Rose, he was the obvious Bulls franchise point guard until Derrick Rose.
No, I didn't know if he wore the number 10. That's why I asked.
No, I just mean like he was great until Rose probably is the best point guard ever now. Wouldn't you say for the Bulls?
Very true.
He's definitely the best one we've seen.
Kirk Heinrich, can we have some respect? I'm just kidding, obviously. All right, my second question. How many times did Michael Jordan in his career as a Bull fail to score at least 10 points?
Never.
Well, I know he did, but he had a streak of like it was 13 years or something that he.
Yeah, it was more than that. It was 15 years.
I'm gonna say it was like 4 games total. Once. Holy
crap. Oh, it was close.
Zach wins.
It was his first
when
game
he broke
back.
His foot?
Yeah, it was his first game back from his broken foot, and he was on like the minute restrictions or whatever, and he scored like 8 points.
Yeah, when him and Doug Collins told the front office to fuck off.
yeah. So
it wasn't Doug Collins. Who was I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know what you were saying though. Matt, your second question.
All right, same category, same premise, but we're going most 3-pointers in a game for IHSA basketball.
17. Jordan Shute just did it last year.
Yeah, he did it. There you go. All right. 17 to 30.
That's what I was gonna say.
17 to 30. That's a crazy number. Crazy number.
And I think someone else from Yorkville Christian is like in the top 5.
It's a pretty new high school, isn't it?
Yeah, very new. It's within the last 10 years.
That's what I thought.
My question is just trying to see if I think we know the 4, but I don't know. Sometimes the 5th one's always tricky. What was the starting rotation for the 2016 Cubs?
Oh, John Lackey, John Lester, Kyle Hendricks,
Jake Arrieta.
Who was the 5th?
Jason Hamill.
There we go.
Yep. Good job, buddy.
That's a tough one. I think that'd be kind of tough because, I mean, you think about that.
Traded back
forget about Hamill.
They dealt him in that Samardzija deal. Yeah. And then they signed him back.
Well, then he ended up in Kansas City.
I believe you're right. I think wasn't he part of the Soler and Wade Davis deal?
Yeah, I think so. And then wasn't he also, I always forget him, wasn't he left off the playoff roster, if I'm not mistaken?
I think you're right.
16, you're right. I'm pretty sure he was. All right, my third and final question. Where did Kevin Garnett go to high school in Chicago?
Farragut.
Zach, any answer?
I'm pretty sure that's right.
All right, yep, that is correct. All right, bonus question.
Greatest tandem ever, too, is the greatest tandem.
Yes, Bonnie Fields was a dog.
Dude, that guy was going to be an absolute stud.
All right, does anybody know what state Kevin Garnett played his first 3 years of high school basketball in?
I believe Malden, South Carolina.
That is correct. Good job, Maddie.
That dude was an absolute freak show when he came to Chicago. Like,
I've been on this big
so much better than everybody else in the city.
we're going to have to do some sort of content with it, but the IHSA just put, or not just put, over the last 10 years has been putting like throwback games on their YouTube page. And I will sit there and go back and watch. I found a game of Farragut and some De La Salle or something from the Proviso East or Proviso West Christmas tournament in '96. The guy calling the game with a full head of hair, David Kaplan.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
was he
and then I watched.
Then was he still flipping then too?
Yeah, he was super loud and super obnoxious and super annoying. But then after that,
Take that.
He was. I'll have to send it to you guys. He was over the top. But after that, then I found so Farragut went to state that year and lost in the Elite Eight to Harvey Thornton. And at that time,
Melvin Eli was on that team.
Melvin Eli, Antoine Randall, and there was like two other guys that played in the NFL. So there was three NFL players and two future NBA players and Ronnie Fields all on the court at one time.
Nuts.
And Antoine Randall came off the bench.
Crazy when you think about it. Like Donovan McNabb at Mount Carmel was not like no. He was a starter, but he wasn't like, this world beater, and then all of a sudden he's playing good in college, So exactly. I don't know, man. It's nuts. Some of those guys are just true athletes, and when they can finally like find their way in a sport, even past the high school level, it's amazing how much better they get past that,
It's crazy how like a college workout and meal plan can also help a guy,
Right. Or even coaching. I mean, just to take the next level to like those Hall of Fame level coaches like at Jim Boeheim, what he's going to do for you,
Seriously.
All right. Back to the high school stats. Back to the closest number. This one's going to be much higher than 3-pointers, though. We're going to go most rebounds in a game.
31.
38.
You're both pretty far off. Boomy's closer. It's 55. 55.
What was Oscar Robertson shooting up for some high school
off the backboard to himself?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was in 1970. Ryan Roberts from Downs Tri-Valley.
Oh, yeah.
So 55 rebounds in a game.
What, were they playing like a school of like 4'8" guys? And
I don't know. Like that, there's not. I can't imagine most games in high school have 55 rebounds.
Dude, I don't think I had 50 rebounds in my senior year.
I'm just saying, I don't think there's 55 total rebounds available to get in most high school basketball.
Like how bad at shooting was one of those teams?
Right.
Or how he just got every single rebound.
Has to be.
He was Dennis Rodman night that night, just hunting everything. He did the thing where the ball's going this way,
and then it's going this way. You got to figure that he probably had about well over half had to be offensive rebounds too.
Oh,
because that's the only way you're gonna like keep getting repeated efforts. You might get 5 on say one possession where it's just like you keep getting putbacks and putback and putback and putback where it's like okay, it's like a cash register or rebound.
How bad of a layup did this guy have?
They weren't doing the Micah drill at that point at Downs Tri-Valley in 1970. Let's just put it that way.
Tell the Vikings to get it together down there in 1970.
All right, my last question. It might be pretty easy. I don't know. I just want to know what you guys know, like with the Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. So they won it in 2010, 13, and 15. Do you know the team that they beat in the Stanley Cup, and can you match it to the year?
Yes.
10 was Philadelphia? No.
Right. Correct.
Yeah, and then 13 was Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And 15 was Tampa.
Yeah, I always forget about Tampa.
That's a really good question, Zach, because
Tampa's the hardest one.
You have to match them with the year. That's where it's tough.
Because I know a lot of people confuse Boston and Philly too. A lot of people flip-flop Boston and Philly, like when I've heard this being brought up before.
For some reason, I just do not remember them being the Lightning in the 15.
I know a lot of people forget that one too.
Not forget, but it's just like you don't realize it was the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
That's a good question. I like that because you have to match up the years too. That's tough. Well done. So, Matt, we're definitely going to have to dive deeper into these IHSA questions, man.
I'm telling you,
I think
there's some absolutely crazy numbers. Some crazy numbers.
I think we need to have our next one needs to be like just strictly that.
Yeah, that's perfect. We'll definitely do that. And if you guys have any suggestions for future trivia topics, make sure you send them to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
What's the odds Pat Beals knows all three of those?
Oh, Pat Beals is like, you guys got any hard ones?
Yeah, right.
Guaranteed. And my dad's probably shaking his head like,
yeah.
He's like, seriously,
of course it was Downs Tri-Valley, you idiots.
You idiots. He had 55, and it was Trenton Western that night. Like, what are you talking about, you moron?
I guess we kind of found out
38. What a pitiful guess.
Two of the best basketball players that we may know, Brian Bloomhurst and Kevin Garnett, were both raised in a town called Malden.
Hey, that's very good.
Very, very different parts of the world. Yeah.
That might be the basketball capital of the world at this point. Just the town of Malden.
I'm not saying
we don't know where. It's just the basketball capital of the world.
You don't have to specify the state.
Guys, hand up.
I'm pretty sure it was Malden, South Carolina. I'm pretty sure.
Did not know that there was a Jacksonville, Illinois.
Dude, that's where the Illinois School of the Deaf is.
It's where my brother went to college there at Illinois College in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah. And then they also used to have McMurray.
They just closed down their doors a couple of years ago.
Much different.
Mauldin was the first high school Kevin Garnett went to. My dad's was Malden.
Okay, so it was Malden though.
It was Malden.
Okay,
but we not say that.
Yeah, way to ruin Malden for everybody.
Can't ruin that.
I mean, I'm just reading the facts, guys. You don't have to bite my head off. That was great. I love trivia. I love IHSA trivia. And I have to give a shout out to my dad. I still to this day have a collection of every program of the state tournament. I've been to every state tournament since 1990, and I always keep the program. And that's what I would do at night is I would read through the record pages at the end. So I love that kind of stuff, and I still to this day find myself, like I said, on the IHSA
They didn't have it this last year, right?
Nope, no, this is the first year in my entire life I didn't get to go. But they did have it. That's my record.
That's technically you did not go. It just didn't happen.
Well, there wasn't one.
That's what I mean. I'm on your side here.
Oh, appreciate it, buddy. I'm used to you coming at me from the other side.
Oh.
So
I got defense mechanisms all.
Got a little defensive. I'm sorry. All right. All right. The first ever TCF Top 4. Now, we're going to do this a little bit different, and we're calling this the gas station order. And what you have to do is it's going to be 4 things instead of 3, like I said, but you have to have a salty snack, a fruit snack of some sort, sweet, fruit, something along those lines, candy bar, and a drink. So there's 4 things. You don't have to pick them in any particular order as long as you fill those 4 things.
I do want to add, I get a plastic bag. I want that chintzy-ass, shitty plastic bag that says thank you 1,000 times on it. That's the bag I want to carry out all my stuff into. Mm-hmm. Because I want that visual of that thank you 1,000 times plastered on that bag. You know what I'm talking about, too.
The person checking you out says, do you need a bag? And you always say yes.
Yes. I do, because you need a garbage bag on a road trip. Come on.
Yeah. Can I go first? I'll go first with the salty. I'm going with chips. I'm going with cheddar ruffled chips.
Ooh.
I cannot go wrong with cheddar ruffle chips. They are my favorite chips, especially in like a small dose.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them at all.
Is that right? Did I do that right?
Yes, you did.
No, that's absolutely that's definitely a worthy pick there. I have no idea.
They're always when you walk in, they got the things of chips, and there's always the cheddar ruffles there.
And I like the distinction of ruffles.
1-1 though is what I'm worried about.
No, I was just kind of going in the order of like.
Okay.
I was just going salt. I'm just.
In fact, that's a good pick because it's available at damn near every gas station.
With gas stations, it's tough for us to like pick each other's stuff and not have another one because there's so much stuff to go off of in a gas station.
Yeah, I think with the flavor variations too, we may end up on the same like type of product, but the flavor variations was where we're going to be.
Right, like one
able
person
to
be like,
deviate.
"Oh, well, I want Cool Ranch Doritos, but I want nacho cheese Doritos."
Right.
We could do this 1,000 times over, probably, with how crazy stuff at the gas station gets. Matt, you can go ahead and go second, buddy.
All right. I'm gonna take the same category, Zach. That I'm gonna stay in salty, and I'm gonna go with the nacho cheese pretzel combos.
Ooh.
I'm a combo fanatic. I think it's the one snack on the planet in a gas station. I don't think salty, chewy, candy bar, anything else on the planet. If
You
I'm
like
in
the
the
pretzel
car,
or the cracker?
I'll take either one. But my pick was the nacho cheese pretzel one. If I had to pick one, that's what I'm going with. The other one I really like though a lot is a newer one. It's a 7-layer dip one.
Yes.
And it's not a cracker. It's a tortilla flavored like little outer shell. So
that thing is fire.
Oh, they're delicious. They're absolutely delicious. The heartburn ramps up though a little bit on those, I think. So my dad growing up, we would take road trips down to Southern Illinois and various times of the year. And that was always our thing is we'd always get a giant ass bag of combos. So that's just growing up, that was my road trip food. So homage to my old man there. I'm going to take combos. I'll never not have them on a road trip. I can assure you of that.
Great choice. I like that. I'm going to take my first round pick, and I'm going to go with a drink. And this is, and I've said this before, I'm normally a diet soda drinker, but if I'm on a road trip, I'm not counting calories. I'm not worried about it. I'm going Dr. Pepper 10 times out of 10. I love a good Dr. Pepper. So that's going to be my first round pick because, like I said, I'm going on a road trip. I don't really worry about the calories. I can drink the Dr. Pepper, not feel bad about it. And I'm going to get
Plastic
the big
bottle, can, fountain. What are we doing here?
You know, if I had a preference, I'm a fountain guy. I'm a big fountain guy.
That's the correct answer.
I will settle. Actually, my second choice is like the tall boy can. I actually prefer out of that. Then I'll go Dr. Pepper.
Oh, I didn't know we were talking tall boys here.
If you're right, shotgun.
You should have added a tall boy option. Zach's eyes perked up there.
I was like,
my tooth's feeling better all of a sudden.
Are we gonna go? How are we gonna do this draft? You gonna go again, Boomy?
Yeah, sure. We'll keep it Snake just to keep it uniform with the other ones.
It'll kind of end weirdly though with 4, but who cares?
Yeah, whatever. We'll figure it. Hey, you just go back to the top. No one's going to take.
Well, like I said, I don't think anyone's taking a pick. I'm going to go with a drink here. I'm going blue Gatorade. Not a huge Gatorade drinker, but I do like early morning. I go to the gas station quite a bit for work. Just an early morning Gatorade. Blue Gatorade's my favorite Gatorade too.
Was not expecting that.
I don't disagree.
I like Pop. I like Pepsi. Definitely going to get a Pepsi at a gas station. But I wouldn't recommend it because it's not very good for you.
I don't disagree on Gatorade, especially in the morning. I do like that blast, like refreshing.
But I'm not a
in the morning.
Huge Gatorade guy.
I've switched over to the Gatorade Zeros though.
Yep,
because the sugar, man, and I don't like the G2s. I don't like the G2s, but the Zeros, like I don't know, it just like the sugar that you don't get from it. I feel like you get way more like. I don't know if it's hydration or just like the refreshing of it.
Classic Gatorade guy.
I don't hate them either. I'm just saying I had to make the switch being an old man and all. So
yeah,
watch the cholesterol.
Yeah, speaking of that, Boomy with the diet pop.
I'm a diet guy. That's all.
Big thumbs down for that. Do you like eating toothpaste for breakfast too? Because that's what drinking diet pop tastes like. It's like chewing on toothpaste.
Matt, you've had a lot of bad takes in the year plus I've known you. That might be one of the worst.
You like the taste of toothpaste? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go different category. I'm going to go the fruit chewy category, and I'm hoping to steal this one from somebody. Is Sour Patch Kids?
Damn it!
I got it for both of you. All right. See, I go with the nacho cheese pretzel combo, and then you counter it with the ultra sweet and sour Sour Patch Kids. So that's where I'm going for my fruity, chewy category. There's still the watermelons are good, dude. Don't sleep on the watermelons.
The mango ones are good. The exploder ones with the little jelly in the middle, those are good. They don't
Zach,
make them.
I'm surprised Boomy doesn't like the Trolls brand.
Can I say the watermelon's kind of like the ugly friend?
And he throws right with
ideas.
them.
Sponsorship ideas. I love it.
Did you hear me, Matt?
No, I didn't.
Watermelon's like the ugly friend. The Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids, way better.
You're just such a Sour Patch traditionalist.
I almost said something I'm glad I didn't say, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
What, that Boomy's the ugly friend?
No, I wasn't gonna go there.
Wow, Zach, thanks, man.
I could see in his eyes. I knew he was trying to say.
Boomy is the watermelon slice of Sour Patch Kids. Is what we're saying.
I know many people that prefer the watermelon ones, so they're jokes on you idiots. I'm going salty snack. This is going to be, you guys probably won't like this. I'm not the biggest chip guy in the world, but I love Cheetos. So I'm going to go with the crunchy Cheetos.
I got no qualms.
That is
that one.
My favorite.
Cheetos can be polarizing, though. Like, some people, absolutely
hate
hate
them.
Cheetos.
Just go ahead and get the hell out of
I don't
my
like
face.
Cheeto. I'm not a big Cheeto Puffs guy.
Yeah, it has to be like
a
once-a-year treat for the Puffs.
Yeah,
right.
I like.
This is gonna sound bad. This is gonna sound as bad as Boomy's take on Diet Pop. My kid likes these organic white cheddar Cheeto Puffs.
I think I know.
Those are fire.
Those things are dynamite.
Matt, here's a pro tip. I bought a box of 40 of those off Amazon for like $13.
You're right, Zach. They do smell terrible.
I don't know what kind
that's
of
the best
cheese
investment a guy you could make. But that organic Cheeto, that white cheddar one, I don't know what. It's really, really good. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's good, but like you said, it's like what's the smell?
That cheese may have come from another planet. I don't give a shit.
All right, boys, I'm going for my fruity snack. It's literally fruit snacks. I like just the regular fruit snacks. It's like what you eat, Welch's. Is that what it's called? It's an easy. You grab it. It's an easy eat. You don't have like Sour Patch Kids. I love Sour Patch Kids, but they get messy. It's a quick eat. While you're on the go. So I'm gonna go with just like regular old fruit snacks.
Can I just say, am I the only one that when you get fruit, like a package of fruit snacks, like in a small little pouch, like you definitely take them all at once, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have about eight in my hand. It's just.
All right. Okay. Thank you. I just want to make sure that I wasn't like a.
And then someone, of course, tries to talk to you, and you're sitting there chewing like an idiot, trying to.
I got a bunch of grapes in my mouth right now. So other than.
Exactly.
Those are the ones my kid tears apart too. The Welch's ones.
But let's just say, if I'm going to the gas station, I'm getting Sour Patch Kids. Maybe why I have a problem.
That probably should have been 1-1. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah.
And I had to steal it. I'm sorry. I didn't think I was stealing from both.
That's one of those ones I didn't even think about.
That's my wife's favorite candy too, so she'd be really disappointed if I didn't grab that for the road.
Matt, you got candy bar and drink left.
Oh, is my pick already?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Candy bar and drink. I think I stole this candy bar a while ago when we did something. I think we did like Halloween candies, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go back to and it's Twix. Give me the chocolate, the cookie, the caramel. It's a good road trip snack that doesn't like melt too quickly. Where, like a Reese's cup. If you get the wrong Reese's cup, it's like almost liquid by the time you open it. And with the Twix, it just seems to hold its shape. It doesn't like melt down instantaneously. Plus, like I said, you get the versatility with the cookie and the caramel. So I like that aspect of it. Good marketing schemes too with their left and right. I do feel like they shortchange you more than anybody on the king size though, because if you buy a king size Twix, those things are no less than 65% of what a normal Twix bar is. So don't let them kid you.
I know we're doing specific flavors, but they've grown in their versatility in the last 5 years. They got the peanut butter one, the cookies and cream. They got a couple different variations.
I'm going to date you guys, though. The original peanut butter one did not use a chocolate cookie. There was an original peanut butter. Yes. And they got rid of that son of a bitch.
And it was so much better.
It's been a large problem in my life since like the early 90s that thing has disappeared.
Thank you. I remember
Maddie will not stand for this.
It's the peanut butter formula.
That thing was the top flight candy bar. It was way better than the caramel version. I love the caramel version, obviously.
I'm glad. I thought I was alone in noticing that. I'm glad I'm not alone.
For a while, I lived in the shell that I thought that I was a figment of my imagination, that it was a regular Twix bar with peanut butter and not the chocolate one. I literally thought like I made that up in my mind until someone finally reassured me, no, that was a thing.
We might need a support group for this. I'm glad. I always thought
been
for
a
like
problem.
15
it
years.
has been a problem for me.
Good choice, though, Maddie. You can't go wrong with a Twix bar. I am going to go with my fruity snack, and you know what? This is not going to be popular, and I don't care. Sour Skittles. I love sour Skittles. I don't even like regular Skittles that much, but I like sour Skittles. But here's another one. You cannot go with the king size. You have to go with the regular size because last time I tried the king size, I literally just tore my mouth apart. But the regular size one will get you through.
No, I'm out.
You're missing it.
Which color is that one?
Sour than Sour Patch Kids.
Which color is that one? Is that the green one? Okay.
Yeah, like
I don't hate that.
Sour Patch Kids are 10,000 times better.
Agreed. You know what sucks though?
They are, but they're not on
the tropical ones. I think it's the tropical Skittles. They're dog shit. Yes. Or is that mixed berry? I think
that's mixed berry. The light blue is the.
Yeah,
I like how you casually just said dog shit.
Well, they are.
I know, but that was like the most casual. Like, those are dog shit.
No, I'm not. Well, and I think it's tropical Starburst that are crap too.
Yeah,
right. Boys,
ones.
I gotta get this one out here. It's my candy bar. It's the cookies and cream Hershey bar.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I love it.
That was my go-to if I didn't take Twix. I love the cookies and cream Hershey's.
Well, if I'm going to like grab some lunch or something, you stop at the gas station, little dessert with the cookies and cream, little candy bar. It's like a Hershey bar with little cookies and cream combined. It's like best of both worlds.
It's such a curveball. It's the perfect curveball for a candy bar. Like when you want something just a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Zach, are you a big mint guy?
Depends.
Okay, so they released and they re-released actually last year, but they did a Hershey's chocolate bar with mint, but it had the little cookie crumbles in it from a cookies and cream bar. It's the best thing Hershey has ever put out. It's kind of similar to your cookies and cream with the cookie crumbles. Oh my God.
I disagree on that. The best product Hershey's ever put out, and it was like a short release. When they were doing all different flavored Hershey Kisses, they had one that was New York cheesecake, and it's like disappeared off the face of the earth.
It was literally in production for like 2 months.
Oh my God, those things were like liquid, dude.
This segment has turned into this what Maddie wants back.
I know. It's like it's come home to me.
Give this man his cheesecake, Hershey's Kisses. Give him his old recipe of his peanut butter Twix, and he's.
You know what, Matt? I hate to be this guy, but I like cheesecake. That doesn't sound very good.
They weren't like it was just like cheesecake flavored. So I don't know, man. They were delicious. They were absolutely delicious.
I'm with you, Matt. I like those. I remember those. You got drink left.
I do, and this one I'm gonna lose a lot. I'm gonna stick true to myself. Shout out the Dog Walk Drafts, and that's the Vitamin Water Energy version. I like that one because you get a little bit of kick of energy, like you get like the energy drink to it, but then you get like it's like a Gatorade aspect of it too. It's got the hydration. I'm not a big pop guy, like in terms of like I'll drink them, but I don't like need one. You know what I mean? I don't hate them, but I don't. Definitely not going to drink a diet. I need something if I'm in the car, if I'm on a road trip. I need energy. I need a kick to the ass. I need some caffeine, and that's not enough. That's in a can of Coke. So I'm going vitamin water energy drink.
I don't hate the pick, but I don't know if I've drank a vitamin water since like 2008.
They're like 60 cents at Jewel right now, so I just buy them by the cart, dude. It's perfect.
I think the last time I had one, 50 Cent owned the company.
Probably better than some energy drinks, Boomy.
Nah, that's debatable.
No, it's not debatable. It's actually proven fact. Energy drinks are so bad for you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, are you gonna throw a monster? Are you gonna throw a monster?
No, I'm just saying you can't. That was a whole argument. That's debatable. Actually, it's not debatable. Vitamin water greater than energy drinks.
If I did have to pick a pop, though, it'd be a fountain drink cherry Coke.
Oh,
good choice.
Sound like Dad.
Give me a good old school cherry Coke, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna hate this, Matt. I've been on this big kick lately. When I get a fountain, either I'll get a half Dr. Pepper, half Diet Dr. Pepper, or I'll do half caffeine-free Diet Coke and half cherry Coke, and it is the greatest thing I've ever had.
Oh, I don't get why people mix pops. It's unbelievable to me.
You just don't understand flavoring.
There's only a few ways to go, and I'm gonna go. I know this is becoming like the Maddie vintage hour, but I'm gonna go to my neighborhood bowling alley. Growing up was Idle Hour Lanes and Sandwich, and we would always we'd go to the bar and order our pop, but we would want a suicide, and they would do a squirt of every soda from the fountain plus a little orange juice. And I didn't hate that when I was a kid. When I think of that now, it makes me want to vomit. I'm not gonna lie.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, that's over the top.
Give me a squirt of every pop that you got behind there.
You're mixing things like Diet Coke and orange pop. Like, thing.
No,
Sprite should not be mixed with like cherry Coke.
I cannot even begin to describe the color of this concoction too. It's just it wasn't. It's like brown.
I've never seen gray soda.
We need to go back to this. We need to go to this bowling alley and see if they still do this.
I'm sure if you go to Ronnie Miller, if I go to Ronnie Miller's house now that he's retired, doesn't own the bowling alley anymore. If I go to his house, he will still go whip me up a suicide right now. I guarantee it.
Let me go to my refrigerator and get you some milk, some pops, some water.
Little this, little that. Whoop, 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 the Rodman.
I will. I'll finish it up, and like Matt said, I'll stay true to myself here as well. My favorite candy bar of all time is the white chocolate Reese's peanut butter cup. So that's my candy bar that I'm going with.
I don't hate it. I thought you were gonna go just a plain Hershey bar, and then I was just gonna be forever.
Hershey's bars stink.
Yeah, me and Boomy have had a huge argument about this. He's an idiot.
I don't like them. I can't eat a plain Hershey bar. I just can't. I don't know why. And I'm gonna admit it. I'm gonna admit it on Halloween because Maggie and I do the full bars until we run out.
Yep.
Which goes pretty quick in our subdivision.
So you're talking about 10 minutes.
Yeah, this year they actually last.
What I mean is, if it gets around the block that you guys have the big candy bars,
we get the repeats. Yeah, we get the repeats for sure. But I always, I'm not gonna lie, I always bring the Hershey bars right to the top of the bucket. Those are the first ones to go. So the first kids that come to the house, you're getting the Hershey bar, man. Sorry, because you guys are whatever leftovers, man. I want the good stuff, dude.
Move on.
We'll have this discussion.
We're just talking about cookies and cream was good.
Cookies and cream's the dynamite.
Absolutely.
Not the plain Hershey bar. Ugh, blah.
I feel like I would have a different take if they charged you less money for a Hershey's bar. If like a Hershey's cookies and cream was like $2, then only charge them
something there. I need either the crunch. I need like almonds. I need caramel. I need peanut butter. Something. Just give me something else with it. That's it.
Couldn't have said it better.
That you, Matt, and Boomy agreeing on.
We finally found some common ground.
Hey, worlds can't collide.
The old dudes love Hershey bars, as I heard. Don't like Hershey bars. I guess
it's the young guy. He's the one that can still eat all that sugar. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. You gotta watch that.
Well, that'll be a nice treat. Maybe I'll scoop you a Hershey bar when you get your teeth taken out, and then you can finally have something.
I like the gas station where we're picking different categories because this could open up a lot of different avenues down the line.
Especially because if you figure it out here one time, that's where I do a lot of my grocery shopping.
Well, we can just go to like your last dinner. You know what I mean? Give me your main course, your side, your app, your drink, and whatever it may be.
Yep, I love it. I have some idea I had written down. So, and if you guys have any suggestions, like we said, for either the trivia or even the top 3, top 4, top 5, whatever we're going to do, just send it to us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. But that was episode 87. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure that you check out the Facebook and Instagram page. Type in Typical Chicago Fans, like those pages. On Twitter, the main page is at typical_Chicago. Head over to YouTube for all of our content in video form. Subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. Make sure you subscribe to us there. Follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Sorry, my voice just stopped working for a second. Zach, I literally opened my mouth and nothing decided that it was going to.
Imagine if you're listening to this and you were one day hoping that Boomy's voice would just go out, and you're just like, no, you got it back.
Oh.
There's 0% of the population that's ever hoped for that. So make sure you follow Zach at ZLillianTCF and Matt at schools_01. Check out our friends over at 26shirts.com Chicago for all of the best Chicago sports merchandise around, hats, hoodies, shirts, flags, whatever you need. They help out good causes. Make sure you help out the podcast as well. Use promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. Head on over, like I said, 26shirts.com/Chicago, promo code Typical Chicago Fans. Boys, that was episode 87. Thank you for listening. We love you all.
Peace.
Shout out Tom Waddle.
And Ed Obradovich.